what are some key takeaways here that you want other people to learn when they want to learn a language? Besides the basics that we talked about, let's say I want to learn maybe Spanish or
Mhm.
something. Should I start at Duolingo? Should I go on Babbel? Should I
Yes,
go
of
Rosetta
course.
Stone? Like, what do you recommend for people to start learning
I think
languages?
Duolingo is a great free resource that we have. It's an amazing thing that anyone can get. But one thing is that I've noticed that a lot of people just kind of, as you say, they don't go out of it. They just do it, kind of like a check mark, and then they're done.
Hmm.
As we said earlier, like you need to go off of it. Like you need to get outside the box. You need to take the vocab you learned. Like when I during the pandemic, I actually worked as a tutor. I tutored kids. I tutored college kids. It was great. And I had one kid who kind of self taught himself Japanese.
Hmm.
This was so he did just have Duolingo. Was all possible, and he wrote down everything he learned, and then he reworded things to kind of get the correct sentence structure. And then I was like, okay, this is really impressive here because this is exactly what, in my opinion, what you're supposed to do with Duolingo. It's a free resource, yes, but you need to go outside. You need to kind of break the sound barrier, so to speak. You know what I mean? Break that barrier, and then you can really maximize using Duolingo.
Got it. So use a tool, but then learn by yourself
Yeah,
outside of that, immersing
yeah, just like
yourself.
have like a notepad out, just jot some things down, and then just keep using those, and then keep building on that. So eventually, you will actually get somewhere with Duolingo. It's possible. It's completely possible. Anything's possible.
So how do you stay motivated during this learning process?
I would say motivation is that just like with anything, you need to set realistic goals for yourself.
Hmm.
Yes, you want to be fluent. Yes, you want to be able to go, read this book in this language. Of course, that's great, but we need to start being realistic here. Like, hey, you're not going to be fluent in 6 months. I know there's so many videos on YouTube that it's like, oh, I learned Chinese in 6 months and stunned locals. Like, no, that's just like, in my opinion, that's to an extent, yes, that is valid, but it's just for like shock value. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, I did this impossibly hard thing and it was easy. Like, you know what I mean? But what I think more so is that to stay motivated, you just have realistic goals for yourself and say, hey, I did this. That's step one done. What's step two?
Hmm.
Again, there has to be a game plan there.
Hmm.
Again, like, you can't just say, hey, I want to build a house. I
Right.
say, hey, foundations, walls, electrician, plumbing, you need all that stuff there as well. Then you can talk about furniture and aesthetic and all that.
Got it.
And
So breaking things down.
oh, of course, yeah, because again, like, it's a lot. You want to say, hey, I want to be fluent in a language because what avenue will you take? How you achieve that goal? Of course, there's not just one way to fluency. There's like multiple ways that sometimes intersect, sometimes they're parallel, and you kind of need to just kind of go for the ride, I guess.